Hello students, this is the another video from the chapter Why Do We Fall Ill of class 9th biology, and here we are going to discuss the another topic which is principles of treatment. And here in this video we are going to talk about the treatment of any infectious or communicable disease. What are the different methods we use to treat any disease? So let's begin the video. In previous videos we had talked about the types of diseases, in which we had discussed about a type of disease, that is infectious or communicable disease. This is the disease which can spread from one person to another person, and here we are going to talk about the method of treatment of the infectious or communicable disease. What are those methodology by which a physician treat any communicable disease? So basically there are two principles by which any doctor or physician treat a communicable or infectious disease. The first one is by reducing the effect of the disease. In the first method, the doctor or physician focus on the effect or symptoms of any communicable disease. Just like you can take the example of malaria. Malaria is a communicable disease and caused by the protozoa named as Plasmodium. So in this disease, the main symptoms are fever and pain. So in the first method, the doctor will focus on the symptoms of this disease of malaria. So the symptoms are fever and pain. So the doctor will give you the medicine to cure fever and pain first of all. He will give the medicines to cure the effect and the symptoms of that disease. In this case of malaria, the main symptoms are fever and pain. So doctor will provide you the medicine to reduce your body temperature and to reduce the pain. And here the doctor will not focus on the causative agent, that is Plasmodium. He will only focus to cure you from the effect of this disease. So you can say that for reducing the effect of a disease, the symptoms are treated. Here in the first method, the symptoms are treated by the medicines or any other method. Okay, like for example, medicines are given to reduce the body temperature, or you are even advised to take bed rest. So here basically the symptoms are being treated by providing the medicines, and so that you will get relief from the bad effects of that disease. This symptom directed treatment does not remove the disease causing microbe. Here in this method, the medicines cannot remove the microbe, the causative agent of that disease, and this method can even delay the treatment. Here we only focus on treating the symptoms and effects of the disease. So the causative agent, the microbes will remain in your body and it can cause the delay. Okay, so that's why this is the basic method, the first and simple method to cure any disease, communicable disease. And to have a more effective treatment, the pathogen needs to be killed. Okay, for an effective treatment, for the permanent treatment, the pathogen must be killed. The pathogen, the causative agent of that particular disease, must be removed from your body. So this is the first method in which we focus on the effect and symptoms of any disease and we treat it by the medicines or any other methods. The second method is by killing the cause of the disease. This is the permanent treatment. Here we focus on the pathogens, microbes. We focus on the pathogens and microbes. So suppose the malaria disease is caused by Plasmodium. So here In this method, what do? We will give the medicine to kill the plasmodium in our body. So if the plasmodium will be killed, all the plasmodium will be killed from our body, then automatically our body will be fit and fine. So in the second method, we use the medicines to kill the microbes, okay, or pathogen. Disease causing microbe are called pathogen. Now these medicines are called antibiotics. This is important to learn. The chemicals or the medicines that we use to kill the pathogen, that medicines are called as antibiotics. And antibiotics are produced by the microorganism itself. Okay, some microorganism produce the toxic chemicals to kill the other microorganisms. Like some fungus are there, they produce the chemicals that can kill the bacteria. Okay, you can take the example of that chemical, penicillin. Okay, penicillin was the first antibiotic that were produced by the fungus, and that penicillin can kill the bacteria. So basically the antibiotics are the chemicals that are used by the microorganism, and that chemicals are we use to kill the bacteria and other pathogens. Now microbes are classified into different categories: bacteria, fungi, protozoan and virus. The antibiotics are directed on the biochemical process of these microorganisms. We use the antibiotic specifically on the basis of the type of microorganism. And very important to know that antibiotics are effective to kill bacteria, fungus, protozoa, but not virus. Okay, the antibiotics do not work on viruses. It is important to remember that antibiotics cannot kill the viruses. This is because virus when present outside the body are non-living, because viruses are the non-living. We have non-living when they live outside of any cell, and the antibiotics are the chemicals that we use to kill the cell, because bacteria, fungus and protozoans are made up of cells. So the antibiotics are the chemicals that destroy the cells. But as you know, the viruses do not have a true cell. So by using antibiotics we cannot kill the viruses. Okay, if we will use antibiotic in case of viral disease, so that antibiotic will kill our cells. So it is harmful to take the antibiotics in viral diseases. So we must take the antibiotics in case of the bacterial, fungal or protozoal diseases, not in case of virus diseases, because antibiotics cannot kill the viruses. So this is basically, there are two main methods, principles of treatment. In the first method we reduce the effect of the disease, and in the second method we kill the causative agent to cure the disease permanently. So this is all about the principles of treatment. Now we will talk about the principles of prevention. Okay. So we are going to talk about the principles of prevention of a communicable disease. So it is said that prevention is better than cure. Okay. To save ourselves from any disease is better than to cure that disease after the occurrence, because if you will fall ill, then there are so many bad effects will be on your body. Like first of all, if you will fall sick, your body functions will be damaged and it may not recover completely. Second, that if the disease will occur, then the treatment will take time. Okay, and during the treatment you will suffer, your body will suffer, and you will suffer economically also. and mentally also. So it is better to prevent ourselves from the disease than treating any disease after the occurrence. So there are so many methods. By using those methods, by following those methods, we can prevent the occurrence of any disease, and we can save our body from the falling ill. So what are these methods? There are two ways. First one is general ways and second one is specific. So in general way, we generally use the basic guidelines to save ourselves, to protect ourselves from the occurrence of any disease. And in a specific way, we specifically use the methods to save ourselves from any particular disease. We focus on a disease, then according to that disease we save ourselves from that particular disease. So in general ways, we include the preventing exposure by various microbes. Okay, we save ourselves from exposure to the microbes, to the microorganism. Like waterborne microbes can be prevented by providing safe drinking water. Okay, there are so many microorganisms, they live in water. So these are called waterborne microorganisms or microbes. So if we will take safe drinking water, pure water, clean and hygienic water, then we can save our body from waterborne diseases. Second, airborne diseases can be prevented by maintaining hygiene in the surrounding and avoiding overcrowded places. So many microorganisms, they live in air and causes airborne diseases. So to save ourselves from the airborne diseases, we should maintain the hygiene in our surrounding. Our surrounding must be neat and clean, and it must be hygienic, it must be free from the germs. We should maintain the cleanliness in our surrounding, okay, wherever we live. And we should avoid to go in crowded places, because in crowded places so many persons live in one place, and when they cough and sneeze or they spit, the microorganism come out from their body into they spread into the air, and they can contaminate the air. And when you will go into that crowded places, then you will inhale that contaminated infected air and you can fall ill. So we must avoid to go in overcrowded places, and we should maintain the distance and maintain the hygiene. Providing a balanced diet, it is very necessary to take balanced diet. If we will not take balanced diet, then our body will lack the nutrients, and in the lackness of nutrients our immune system will be weak. And when our immune system will be weaker, then we can easily fall ill, we can easily caught up by any microorganism. So by taking balanced diet, we can make our immunity system strong, and when our body will be immunized, then the chances of infection will be very less. So these are the general ways. By following these methods, we can save our body from any infection. Now we will talk about the specific ways. In specific ways, we focus on a disease, and on the basis of that disease, on the basis of the transmission of that disease, we use the methods to save ourselves. Like for example, smallpox disease has been completely eradicated from the world by providing vaccination. As you know, the smallpox disease caused by a virus, and by using the vaccination against this virus, we haven't eradicated the smallpox from the world. So specifically we had used the vaccine to save ourselves from the chickenpox. Vaccination is a technique in which a dead or living antigen is injected into the body to induce immune response. Vaccine is nothing but the microbes, and that microbes can be dead or can be weaker, can be so weak. So we inject these dead or weak microorganism in our body to enhance the immune response, to make our body immunized. And once these microorganisms enter in our body, the immune system then remember the disease specifically, and further when the active microorganism attack the body, then the immune system respond strongly and eliminate the infection completely. So this is the basis of the principle of immunization. In immunization, what do? We use vaccines. We use vaccines, and vaccines are nothing but the microorganisms which are found in dead or very weak condition. And once we take these microorganisms, then our immunity system remember these microorganisms, and when further any active microorganism get in our body, then our immunity system responds very quickly and eliminate and kill those microorganisms and save our body. So this is the specific way of principle of prevention. So this is the end of this chapter. Here we will summarize this chapter. So we had discussed, first of all we had discussed about the health. And what is health? Is state of being well enough to function physically, mentally and socially well. We had discussed that there are three aspects of health, that is physical, mental and social. And conditions that are necessary for good health are balanced diet, public cleanliness, social equality and harmony, and personal hygiene. These are the conditions that are very necessary for a good health. Now, failure of health is disease, and you can define the disease is the improper functioning of the body organs due to one or many reasons. Now, we had discussed about the causes of diseases. Okay, here in the causes of diseases we were talking about the external factor and internal factor. Okay, external factors are the microbes, inadequate food supply, pollution, alcohol and drug addiction. In internal factors, genetic disorders can be the reason. Improper functioning of body organs can also be the reason of the any disease. And then after we had discussed about the classification of disease, and based on the duration there are two type of diseases, acute and chronic. Okay, those diseases which last for short period of time, they are called acute diseases, like common cold, typhoid, malaria, etc., and does not cause major effects on a general health. Second kind of disease on the basis of duration is chronic, and that lasts for very long period of time, sometimes for the lifetime, like elephantiasis, like diabetes, like arthritis, and these diseases have drastic long term effects on the body, on the health. So this is the classification of disease on the basis of duration. On the basis of the cause, there are two types of diseases, and that is infectious and non-infectious diseases, which are also called as communicable and non-communicable disease. Communicable diseases can spread from infected person to healthy person, and these are caused by the external factor, microorganisms, like the example of diseases like common cold, tuberculosis, typhoid, malaria, dengue, chicken pox, etc. Non-infectious diseases, these are also called as non-communicable diseases, and they cannot spread from infected person to healthy person, and they are caused by the internal factors, like cancer due to the genetic abnormalities, high blood pressure is due to the excessive weight. These are caused by the internal factor of our body, and this disease cannot transfer from the unhealthy person to the healthy person. Then after we had talked about the infectious agents, like we had talked about the viruses, bacteria, fungus, protozoa and worms, and the diseases caused by them. Then we have discussed about the means of spread. So some microorganism can transfer by air, some can be water, some can transfer by physical contact, and some can be delivered by the vectors like insects, animals, like malarial parasite, protozoa transfer by the mosquito. Now we have discussed about the treatment, principles of treatment. Here we have talked about there are two principles of treatment. One is by reducing the effect of the disease, and second by killing the microbes to cure the person permanently. Here in the prevention we had talked about the there are two main ways to prevent any disease: general way and specific way. In general way we use general basic methods to save our body from in any infection, and in a specific way we use a specific method based on the any particular disease, like we use immunization method and vaccination. In immunization we strengthen our defense system to save our body from any infection, and in vaccination we use vaccines to immunize our body against any particular microbe. So this is all about this video. Thank you.